The sun burned low over the dusty frontier settlement when the cowboy reined his horse to a stop, outside the largest lodge in the camp, unaware that his life was about to fracture into something he never imagined. He had ridden for days to deliver supplies, his name already whispered among traders as a man of honor, grit, and unshakable resolve. Inside the lodge waited the tribal chief, a man feared not for cruelty, but for the finality of his decisions. The cowboy entered with calm confidence, but the air grew heavy the moment the chief's eyes locked onto him. Without ceremony, the chief spoke words that struck harder than any bullet. "Marry my ugly daughter or leave this land forever." The room fell silent. The cowboy felt every gaze pierce him. He had heard the rumors of a daughter hidden behind a veil, spoken of only in hushed tones, mocked by outsiders, pitied by her own people. They said she was cursed, disfigured, unfit for marriage, a burden even her powerful father could not erase. The cowboy's instinct screamed to refuse, to turn away and ride back into freedom, but something held him still. Pride, curiosity, or the quiet, dangerous pull of fate? He asked one question only. "If I agree, what do I gain?" The chief's voice was iron, land, protection, wealth, and my word. The cowboy understood the unspoken truth. Refusal meant exile, perhaps death on the open plains without allies. Agreement meant a life bound to mystery and sacrifice. Outside, he saw her for the first time. She stood motionless between two women, her face fully veiled, her posture straight but heavy with resignation. She did not look at him, not once. The whispers returned, cruel and sharp, but she stood as if she had heard them all her life and learned how to survive them. That night, alone, beneath the stars, the cowboy wrestled with his conscience. He had faced guns, storms, and betrayal, yet nothing terrified him like the unknown face behind that veil. Still, something gnawed at him, a sense that the story he'd been told was incomplete, perhaps deliberately twisted. By dawn, he made his choice. He stood before the chief and said, "I'll marry her." Gasps rippled through the camp. The daughter did not move, did not speak, did not protest. Only the veil fluttered slightly in the wind, as if reacting to destiny itself. The wedding was arranged quickly, quietly, without celebration. No smiles, no songs. As the ceremony ended, the cowboy realized he had crossed a line he could never uncross. And as he followed his new wife toward their dwelling, he felt the unsettling certainty that nothing in his life would ever be the same again. If you feel the tension building and want to uncover what lies beneath the veil, make sure you subscribe now because this story is only just beginning. The night after the wedding was thick with silence, the kind that presses against the chest and refuses to let the heart rest. The cowboy sat near the small fire inside their lodge, listening to the wind sweep across the plains, aware of the woman sitting just feet away from him, still veiled, still distant, still a stranger bound to him by command rather than choice. He studied her carefully, noticing details no one had ever spoken about, the grace of her hands, the steadiness of her breath, the quiet dignity in the way she carried herself. This was not the posture of someone broken or ashamed. This was the stillness of someone protecting something precious. At last he spoke, not with demand but with honesty. "You don't have to be afraid of me." She turned slowly, and for the first time, her voice emerged, soft, controlled, and heavy with years of restraint. "I am not afraid. I am tired of being unseen." Those words struck him deeper than any insult could have. He realized then that the veil was not just fabric. It was a prison built from fear, lies, and protection. When he asked why she hid, she hesitated, then said, "Because truth is more dangerous than ugliness." Hours passed as they spoke, really spoke, and the cowboy learned the truth that had been buried beneath cruelty and rumor. The chief had hidden her not because she was hideous, but because she was beautiful beyond expectation, so beautiful that rival tribes had once tried to steal her, so dangerous that blood had been spilled in her name. To protect her, the chief had chosen a lie and wrapped it around her face until the world believed it. Now the cowboy understood the weight of the choice he had made. With steady hands, he finally asked, "May I see you?" The fire crackled as she stood, trembling slightly, and lifted the veil. Time stopped. The cowboy's breath caught in his throat. There was no scar, no deformity, no curse. Instead, there was a face of striking beauty. But more than that, strength, intelligence, sorrow, and fire all woven together in her eyes. His shock was not from disappointment. but from the realization that he had been tested, not tricked. In that moment, respect replaced surprise, and something deeper than attraction took root. Outside, the world still believed the lie, but inside that lodge, truth had finally been set free. The cowboy swore then, not loudly, not for praise, that he would protect her choice, her voice and her future, not because he was forced, but because he chose to. And as dawn broke over the plains, two lives once controlled by fear began to move toward freedom together. If this revelation shocked you and you want more powerful stories of fate, courage, and hidden truth, subscribe to the channel now, because every story here reveals that nothing is ever as it seems.